I'm going to start out with my regular foundation, which I use CoverGirl Clean in number 510 Classic Ivory. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the back of my hand, because I'm going to use that as my palette. And I'm fairly pale to begin with, so I don't have to do much paling out of my skin. But I'm going to add a little bit of this because I'm going to be using a lighter foundation on top of it for my highlights. Alright, then I'm going to go in with the lightest foundation that I have. I have this kit for my makeup kit of all these different color foundations, so that comes in handy. But I'm going to just go with this number 2 foundation by Blasco, and it's like almost white. I think it's called Alabaster. And I'm just going to pop a little bit more of that on the back of my hand to keep my kit sanitary. And I'm just going to pick that up and put it on where my highlights would be, which would be the top of your cheekbones, center of your nose and forehead, and your chin. So I'm just going to go and blend those in real good, because surprisingly this foundation is quite a bit lighter than my skin. It looks almost white when it photographs. But if you have a darker skin tone, just get a cheap foundation that's a couple shades lighter than your skin. For this look, you don't want to do white face. Foundation will do just fine. And I'm just going to go over my eyes just to add a little bit of product for the black face paint to hold on to. And you want to get your lips as well. I'm going to use my Ben Nye Natural Set with fluffy brush, and I'm going to set that powder. Later, so I'm going to take a lot of the white powder and just set it under my eyes, down on my cheeks, so when the glitter falls out, I can just brush it away. Now comes the fun part. We're going to start tracing out our orbital bones and do a little bit of the line work on our face. And what I use to do that is my Ben Nye Black. It's very well loved and used. It's licorice black. And I just have a little container of water and a napkin to blot on. To do the black lining, I'm going to use this really tiny eyeliner brush. Just dip it in my water and start making a little concoction inside of here. Between the two sides of my face, because that helps me make it more symmetrical. You do however you feel more comfortable. Next, I'm going to do the outer corners of my mouth with this product. Next, I'm going to start on my nose. So when you're putting a big black void on your face, you don't want to fill in your whole nose, because that's going to make your nose look huge. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to just line right inside of where my nose is, and that's going to be my fake skull nose. Fiddle with it later after you do your outline. It's better to start small and add to it than too much, and then it's a pain in the butt to use a Q-tip to clean it up. Excuse my nose. Stepping back away from the mirror when you're doing this, because when you're all up in the mirror you tend to lose the symmetry of your face. So take a couple of steps back from the mirror and just check to see if what's going on is straight. I'm going to start doing a little bit of contouring right now before I get too busy with my lines. So I'm just going to take my contour brush, which is this, and I'm going to be using Sugarpill in Poison Plum, which is the purple. And I'm just going to tap that on and put that where my contour would go. If you want, you can keep this as black eyeshadow if you don't want something colorful. But I just wanted to add a little bit of color to my face. You want to go pretty heavy on the contour. And don't be afraid to stop it abruptly right here. And just blend it down to give you that gaunt face. I'm going to go up into my temples as well. Pretty much if you feel around on your face, you can feel where the smushy parts are, and that's where you want your contours to be. If it's a little too dark for you, you can just go back with your fluffy brush that you used your powder on and kind of buff it out where you think you put too much. That I do want to use a little bit of my black just to make the contours a little bit darker, to darken that purple up. So I'm just using my handy dandy huge palette with all colors in it, and there's a black one in there. You can use whatever black you have. So with that same brush, I'm just going to put it on the very little pointy tip part and just draw where I want to darken it up a little bit. Okay, I think I like the way that looks. Now I can start going in with more of my line work now that I have that. Plus it gives me a little bit better of a guideline on my face for the symmetry of the lines. I'm just going to go back in with my little brush and my black paint and start mapping out the guidelines. Now I'm going to finalize my lines and make them a little bit more neat. So to do that, I'm actually going to be using my liquid eyeliner because I know the brush is tiny and the consistency is going to be perfect. Very carefully, you're going to want to steady your hand on a surface or your cheek, whatever works best for you. Just go in and start making the lines thick and thin. you do to one side, you need to do to the other. I'm going to keep the lines in the middle a little bit more faint because I like the contrast of that. Okay, I think I got pretty much all of my black detailing on. Now I'm going to fill in my eyeballs. To do this, I'm going to use my Smashbox brush, which is a flat dome brush. Dip that in the water, and once again, make a paste out of it. Have the eyeballs done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gel black eyeliner, line the waterline of my eye, and I'm also going to take this into the middle of my mouth and do the little hash marks with that. I find that using a gel eyeliner on your mouth is a lot better because when you eat and drink and do whatever you're going to be doing at Halloween parties, it won't come off as easily as, let's say, a regular water-based eyeliner would be. So I'm just going to take a little brush, this is a flat eyeliner brush, and I'm going to start popping that into my waterline. Same brush, and very, very, very delicately just do a line right on my lips. Line them up on the bottom. And I'm going to take that same brush that I used to fill in my eyes, and I'm just going to get a little bit more of the product on it just to wet the surface again. And I'm going to focus primarily in the middle of my eyes, in the corner. So just go over that again. So it gets a little bit wet again. Then, using your favorite glitter that's cosmetic grade, so in case it falls in your eyes it won't hurt, and just take another brush, whatever, and I'm just going to start packing that on. How I like to do it is I put it in the lid. This gives me a little container, it's less messy. And just start packing that on. And since you put that black back on, it'll have a little bit of a sticky surface to adhere to. You can really use whatever color you want. I just like the blue because it's darker. I'm going to actually use a couple different blues. This one for the inner, and then I'm going to finish it out with a little bit of a lighter aqua glitter. I'm just going to tap that around the edges, just so it kind of gradiates out a little bit. Now, you remember that powder I had you put underneath your eyes before? This is when it comes in handy, because it's still under there. So you just flick off the fallout and it won't disturb anything else but the glitter. Very easy. I'm going to take a yellow, and this is Joe Blasco, and it's just a yellow cream color, and a lip brush. Like always, when you use a cream product, you need to set it with a powder product. same thing with the yellow eyeshadow. Outer rim, I'm going to take a blue liquid eyeliner and I'm going to fill that section in. I'm going to use a green Ben Nye face paint again, and I'm going to do these outer ones in green. Alright, the outer rims of my eyes, I'm going to do another easy technique, and that's using another lip brush and my red Ben Nye face paint. I'm just going to make a little concoction with that again, and I'm going to use this to do the dots around my eye. So how I make it even is I start in a cross shape, just cutting that space in half. That way, you know your dots will be symmetrical. To do eyelashes, I use eyelashes, duo, and a pair of tweezers. I found these really cool ones from Wild Lash, and they were at Rite Aid. Okay, those are my eyelashes.